Even if you're not doing much or any gardening outside over the winter for whatever reason, maybe it's just too cold where you live and you don't feel like tending to a garden when it's cold outside, or maybe you're just burnt out from the summer gardening season, you might still get that itch to exercise your green thumb and beat the winter blues and do something plant or garden related. So here are a couple of ideas to do just that. First up are microgreens. They are super fast, fun, and easy to grow. You can find microgreen kits pretty inexpensively, and it only takes a few days to see results. Not to mention, the greens you grow are extremely healthy, and you can pretty much grow microgreens from any seed, like your traditional alfalfa sprouts, corn, sunflowers, broccoli, kale, beets, and amaranth. The list goes on. Microgreen trays don't have to take up a lot of space, and every few days you can harvest some and start some more. There's a few different ways people grow microgreens. Just to go over a few, some have fancy trays like this using jute mats, but those end up needing replacements after a while. And some people use sprouting jars, and then there's just plastic trays that stack, and there's holes on the bottoms so that when you water the top tray, the water goes down to the other trays that you can rotate. And I like the stacker trays the best because you don't need a growing medium, it's very simple, and the trays are easy to clean. Hydroponics are a great way to garden indoors, and if you get a tabletop hydroponic system, it doesn't have to take up a lot of space, and they have the lights included with the unit. And in recent years, these smaller tabletop hydroponic systems have come down in price, so you can find them pretty inexpensively. There are so many brands out there that you can definitely find one that fits your space. So you just put water in the reservoir and these growing sponges in the trays and pop your seeds in and turn the system on, and the pump inside the reservoir will circulate the water around, and you can add a bit of fertilizer in the water reservoir as well, and soon enough your plants will grow, and for fast-growing things like lettuce, you can harvest it pretty quickly. The great thing about these systems is that they are pretty much automated, and you don't have to do much other than add water to the reservoir every now and again when it's running low. You can also try something called the Kratky method. You use these little cups, and typically they go in a mason jar or whatever jar you have where the cups will fit, and then you add water and nutrients. Some people black the jars out with paint, or they wrap them in aluminum foil so that algae doesn't form. And in the cups, you can use soil or these clay balls called leca or any other growing medium really, and you put your seeds in, and then the roots grow into the water. This will require you to place the jars near a light source or in a window or area that gets light. And for me, I started to have too many jars set up, taking up more space, so I do prefer the tabletop hydroponic systems. Another thing you can try over the winter are houseplants. However, once the cooler seasons end, the houseplant journey isn't over. But houseplants don't have to be high maintenance, and they can definitely give you something to do indoors. And while there's a lot of gardeners who already have houseplants, I know a lot of gardeners who haven't dabbled in the world of houseplants yet, and I do realize that houseplants can be a whole other journey or learning curve. So do your research, look at houseplants that you might like to get, and see what their care looks like and if you can provide those conditions for the plant in question. You can also take small houseplants and make terrariums with them, and these can be fun because you can add multiple plants, and they are pretty easy to maintain in the terrariums because they will retain humidity. So they are very low maintenance, but you still get the satisfaction of doing something with plants. So give one or all of these ideas a try if you haven't already, and before you know it, it'll be warmer outside and it'll be time to gear up for the spring and summer.